What's up, golfers everywhere? Let me give a special shout out today to all the foot golfers listening in. Ole, 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 foot golf, foot golf. All right, any fling golfers or disc golfers out there as well, welcome to episode 3 of the Pace of Change podcast. I'm Scott Dolly, co-host along with the appropriately named Dude Spellings. In the next 5 to 10 years, the game of golf is going to undergo some major transformations. The purpose of this podcast is to broadcast the evolutionary journey the game of golf is on as we head into the chaotic and mind-numbing pace of life in the 21st century. That's right, we're inviting you, the listener, with us on this incredible adventure the game is embarking on. So each week, we're going to keep you up to speed on the latest game-changing news and developments. We're going to bring you interviews with the pioneers, thought leaders, and change agents in the industry, and highlight innovative breakthroughs in technology and alternative formats like speed golf, foot golf, disc golf, and fling golf. All this will shed light on the ways in which golf is changing to keep pace with the demands of the modern world. What about the show hosts? Well, we're golfers. We're also avid runners. And in that case, we have first-hand experience that playing golf faster, a lot faster in the case of speed golf, unleashes new levels of fun, enjoyment, and peak performance. Look, there's no denying golf has to change, but we believe it's changing for the better. Golf is headed for a renaissance. So get ready. We're talking about a revolution. We do it fast. We make it fun, so turn it up and enjoy this episode of the Pace of Change podcast. Hey guys, this episode of the Pace of Change podcast is brought to you by one of our affiliates, strikingly.com. What is strikingly.com? Well, it is the website platform that I have used for several years now. I was one of the first adopters of their platform. But what is it? Well, you can build beautiful websites in minutes, no coding and knowledge required. Strikingly is absolutely the best website builder for anyone who wants to build gorgeous, mobile-friendly, responsive websites easily. They're quick, simple, and stylish. You can start for free today, and when you figure out you love it as much as I do, you can upgrade. They have simple pricing plans on the cheap. I've used this for at least 7 or 8 different websites that I've built, and I always get incredible feedback. It's not really what I'm doing, it's just how amazing their platform is. It's really simple to use, like I said. You can check it out in the show notes. Head over to our website, paceofchange.com, and click on the affiliate link there. Anytime you do that, you're going to be helping out the Pace of Change podcast as we seek to continue to bring you groundbreaking podcasts about this revolutionary and evolutionary journey the game of golf is on. So thank you for doing that.
I don't think that the course operators initially, when they start contacting us, they call us just because they love to see a soccer ball rolling on their fairways. They had a need. They need more traffic. Foot golf, as far as I know, is an initiative that brings more new faces to golf courses than any other initiative. People that never drop a penny in a golf course before just because they don't play golf, now they come to golf facilities with a soccer ball. Just think about it, how many people on your neighborhood, on your city, 100 if not 1,000 of people that live around a golf course, they just don't walk into the golf course because they don't play golf. Now with a soccer ball, they come to a golf facility.
Hey, wherever you are right now, in your car, exercising, getting groceries at the supermarket, you are in for a really special treat. You're listening to the pioneer of footgolf in the USA, the founder of the American Footgolf League, the AFGL, and because of his passion, his magnanimous spirit, this guy's never met a stranger, and his influence on the growth of this new hybrid sport, many have dubbed him the Godfather of Footgolf. He'll readily admit he didn't invent the sport, but it consumes every minute of his life. He is truly a pioneer in that he is somebody who is determined to see the vision of footgolf being spread across the golfing world, becoming a reality in his lifetime, and it's quickly happening. So here's the really great news. We asked Roberto for 1 hour of his time. We know he's a busy man. Well, to our absolute delight, we spent almost 3 hours talking to him about all things footgolf, what the pioneer life is like, the challenges and rewards of spearheading an entirely new sport in the United States and internationally. And we even had the good fortune of having his wife, Laura Balestrini, join us about midway through the interview. Guys, there is just too much good here for one 30-minute episode. So, we're going to bring you part 1 right now, and next week we'll bring you part 2. How about that? So look, I hope you enjoy right now part 1 of The Pioneer Life with Roberto Balestrini.
Do you know what a podcast is?
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea, and it's something that dude, you have mentioned this quite often, which is a golf course is such a great community resource that is so underutilized by just offering one sport on it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the percentage of people that play golf is so small, and especially when you're talking about a municipal course, which in theory is owned by the entire municipality, and it's being utilized by 1% of the population that plays golf, or 2% or 3% or whatever.
It just seems like it makes so much sense that golf course operators would be open to it. And I think more and more and more golf course operators are open to it. Aren't you experiencing that, Roberto?
Yeah, of course. But this is what we did, guys. Many people ask me how we created the American Footgolf League, or how the sport landed in the United States, because this is an European sport. It's not something that I invented.
Yeah.
Footgolf has been around since ever. In Switzerland, what a beautiful country. Every time I see a picture, I want to go to Switzerland.
I know.
Yeah, for sure.
And they play aiming to the trees. Mr. Michael Jansen, he told his brother and his friend, you know what, when we finish practice, we compete in between us who get back to the locker rooms on the less number of kicks.
Ah.
Interesting.
So, yeah. But guys, at the same time, in Spain, Mr. Juan Manuel Asensi, a former soccer player, a guy who was the captain of Barcelona soccer team, and was also the captain of the national soccer team of Spain. He was doing what most rich former soccer players do. They went to try to play golf.
Yeah.
But you feel so frustrated when you are not a golfer that you don't know what to do with the club. You want to kill somebody with the club. In my case, I start crying. Yeah.
So
I won't say that I look too cute when I cry, but I cry when I play golf. It's just for real men, okay? So the thing is, Juan Manuel Asensi tried to play golf. He couldn't, so he threw the clubs away. He went back to his car in the parking lot, removed his shoes, picked up a soccer ball, and started kicking the ball on the golf course.
Wow.
And what year was that?
That was like a 2006, 2007.
Okay.
So at this time, and they didn't know each other. These other guys in the Netherlands, Michael Jansen with his, that I can introduce Michael to you guys. I would be glad to.
Sure.
Thank you.
And they started creating and designing the uniform and the idea of an international organization. And back on September 2009, they rented a golf course, and they played the first 9-hole tournament with professional soccer players, so the former soccer players as well. And after that, all the people who was playing there, they came back to their countries, and they start playing Footgolf or some kind of Footgolf on their own countries. That was 2009 that the Dutch Footgolf Association was created, and immediately the International Footgolf Association that was registered in Switzerland. In 2010, Footgolf crossed the Atlantic and went to Argentina. So the Argentinian Footgolf Association was created in 2010. And in 2011, I was watching TV in Palm Springs, and I was searching and I was surfing looking for a soccer game between Boca Juniors and River Plate from Argentina. I mean, as I told you before, I have spent half of my life in Argentina and half of my life in California, but my entire life I was a Boca Juniors fan. So I was surfing. I noticed that Martin Palermo, a former soccer player from Boca Juniors, was playing, kicking a soccer ball in a golf course, being interviewed by a guy that I met 3 years before here in San Diego for a friendly soccer game between Argentina and Mexico. Oh. Yeah, I wanted, it's an interesting story. I wanted to meet Leo Messi. Who doesn't?
Wow.
Yeah, who doesn't want to meet Messi?
Who doesn't? I mean, come on. So, and I remember I was living in North San Diego, and I went to the hotel in La Jolla with my wife and my daughter. And I was at the restaurant, and I saw this group of Argentinian guys from the press, from the Argentinian press, and I speak the language, so I talked to them, and we made a deal. They will keep me around the team if I drive them around, going shopping and showing the San Diego area or whatever. So I took 1 week vacation, and basically, and I spent most of the time with these guys from the Argentinian press. So the day of the game, at the end of the game, they called me and said, "Roberto, come over here. You see that guy over there?" And that was Leo Messi walking. So I took a picture with Leo Messi.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
You know what? The bad news is I think he's taller than me. So anyway, so when I saw Footgolf on TV, I pick up the phone and I called the Argentinian Association. Actually, I called the TV station, and they were connected to the Argentinian Association, and they asked me if I needed any help, or if I wanted to bring the sport over here, which that was my intention. That was around July, August 2011. So I talked to my wife, or I asked my wife, Laura, if what she thought about Footgolf. Her father and 2 brothers are hardcore golfers, you know?
Yeah.
Very, very hardcore golfers. So she thought that the idea was very neat, but crazy. We live in Palm Springs area that we have over 120 golf courses. And And we decide to give a try. Then I have second thought, and then I got scared and say, listen, it's not that we are going to introduce foot golf in the city. We're going to introduce foot golf to the country, and happen to be that the country is the United States of America. Forget about it, I mean, but Laura, one day she said, you know what, we're going to do it. And we're going to do it.
Wow.
And I say, but I don't know. And say, I mean, the decision made, Roberto. I already registered the American Footgolf League. Yeah. And then we start checking, and soon we noticed that it was very difficult to explain to course operator what this was all about. So, and then when we start talking to course operators, we felt that they look at me like I had two heads,
Do you think that was just because they...
Of my accent, number one. Yeah. They didn't know if I was Argentinian, a Martian, or what I was, talking about kicking a soccer ball in a golf course,
But do you think it's just because, I mean, from our experience, when we go talk to golf courses about links running, they're so focused on this one thing of golf. When you mention anything other than golf, they don't, it's like it doesn't even register in their head.
No, yeah, but you know what? It's very, very, very easy and simple. Because number one, you are talking to course operators. They are in the real estate business. And you need to talk to the course operator and that person, not to the player on that person. So when you talk to the course operator, they understand that it's a new activity. I mean, like you can have a swimming pool, you can have a tennis court, then you can have speed golf. Mm-hmm. It's really interesting because I see how happy the foot golfers are in a golf course. And I see the perfect combination of that energy and passion and fun of soccer with the precision and the power and the elegance of golf. And you play in a golf course, which is my wife says like a park with a beautiful manicure.
Yeah,
that's true.
What a safest place to be for a kid than a golf course.
Absolutely, I grew up on one.
Well, you're lucky. Until I start with foot golf, I never been in a golf course, not even for a wedding. But because I'm a soccer guy. I never play soccer, but I can watch soccer. Okay. And but coming back to foot golf and why course operators pay attention to foot golf and to fling golf and to speed golf, it's because, I mean, you have 100 acres, let's say, or 200 acres, and you make money with 18 holes of this size of a cup of coffee or a coffee cup, and you have so much land, and as long as you don't touch the greens, they are okay. As long as if you respect the golf etiquette, as long as you understand where you are, they are okay. So we try for a month or 2 months to contact golf courses, and was so frustrating because it was a new sport. It was not much to show. I remember myself working not even in Photoshop because I don't know how to use Photoshop. I was in Picasa.
Oh, wow.
Creating, here and there.
Yeah.
and trying to explain to do and putting pictures and videos together, and everybody around the world use the same pictures because we're not that many tournaments, and not in many places they were using uniforms. And I remember every day, I remember one man, I almost had to sell one of my kids to pay for the phone bill. That was a fortune, okay? And I remember calling Hungary, calling to Budapest, calling to the Netherlands, calling to Argentina, contacting with them, and how we're going to do this. And they give me an idea of what they were doing. But every country is different. You can't compare the situation of the golf industry in the United States with any other country. Okay? So in countries like the Netherlands or Hungary, they love soccer, so they understand that, but they don't have that many golf courses. Here in the United States, we have thousands of courses, but they don't pay much attention to soccer, and even less in the golf industry. Mm-hmm. So that was quite frustrating. So we decided, it was frustrating dealing with people because we didn't know how to. Everything was new. I remember myself calling Pepsi Cola and Heineken asking for a sponsorship. I said, for what?
Yeah.
For what? And that was, but I miss those times. Now we have 450 courses. We sold over 1 million rounds of foot golf. And we still investing money because it's a long run. In order to make money with the sport have to become popular.
So talk a little bit to us about the competitiveness of the sport. One thing I noticed, Roberto, was that in 2012, I think there was like 2 AFGL affiliated golf courses. That's in 2012. Here we are in 2015, and you've got almost 450 affiliates in 49 states. That is just a tremendous growth.
What do you mean, almost? When was the last time? When was the last time you were on my website?
I think I was just flipping through the magazine there that you showed me, and it said something like 446.
Okay.
Please correct me.
No, well, we have 450 right there, but they are more than 40 courses that they have request information, and I think they are trying to put foot golf in the 2016 budget. Okay. But this is the thing. If we can go back a little bit, when after 2 or 3 months, we decide to stop calling the golf courses. And for 3 years, we didn't solicit because I want to work with the people who want to work with us. It's the best way.
Okay, so back then when you made that decision, then how many golf courses were you working with?
Maybe 3 or 4. And
were they all in California?
No. The first one, we got that golf course thanks to Juan Fernandez, who was working in marketing for the Chula Vista Resort in Wisconsin, Dells, Wisconsin.
Okay.
The owner, Mike Kaminsky, crazy guy. I love the guy. He say, listen, Roberto, I don't want to do this all year long. This is going to work, believe me. I just want to be the birthplace of foot golf in America. You can use my course, no problem. I didn't pay 1 penny for the course that day.
Wow.
We pay for the food, for the player's uniform or whatever, but that was like this. So with that, we took some pictures, made some videos. Then we have golf course in one of the guys that played. There was 18 years old Jack Graham from Virginia, from Richmond area. He went back home and talked to Windy Hills. and the owner liked the idea, so they contact me and say, okay, I want 9 holes, foot golf course with 9 holes. So this player himself, Jack, went with a shovel and started making the holes.
Wow.
The same thing that Juan Fernandez in Wisconsin did. So now the problem were the cups. Where do we get a 21 inches cup?
Exactly.
So, we start going to the Office Depot, to the Home Depot. That was, oh my God. We were thinking, I mean, we want to reinvent the wheel. So finally, we got some guys in Mexico that, following instruction, they created a 21 inches hole by 17 inches deep with fiberglass. So we had that course, and then we had Melreese Country Club in Miami, one of the most successful courses, municipal courses in the country. Mr. Charles DeLuca, who opened he's 75 years old. He opened the first golf course when I was born, 1962. And Charles DeLuca said, you know what, it's going to take time, but this is going to work. So he decided to bring him there. Anyways, then we did a tournament in Las Vegas. And by the end of the year, we have 4 or 5 courses and some pictures and videos. So what we did, we put that on the website. Mm-hmm. I was managing the website at the time. And every day I was changing the website, guys. I imagine that you should be doing the same thing. Just putting a picture here, another picture there.
Absolutely.
No, this is better here. And then I used to call one of my wife and say, did you see the website? Oh, no, what did you do now? It's not working. Okay. So, and then we start, we send information to some courses or whatever, and then we have a few interviews, like a men's journal magazine, and then we had a few local newspapers, and by the end of the following year, we had like over 50 courses. At the end of 2013, Mr. Mike Tinky, the former deputy CEO of the National Golf Foundation, called me and said, Roberto, I was on the phone with Don Mackay, the former president of the NGCOA in Canada, and he said that you and him, you guys founded Foot Golf Canada. And I said, that's true. Wow. How that works? And I explained to him and say, okay, I want you to come to the NGCOA annual conference in Orlando in February. On that day, 140 golf course operators play foot golf.
No way.
We put 3 holes on hole number 4, I guess, or whatever, was a par 5 for golf. And but at the same time, foot golf was mentioned at the PGA show, just mentioned over there. And I remember Ken Morton Jr. from Morton Golf did a presentation because it was the most successful course that year. And many people from PGA heard for really first time about foot golf, including the president at the time. And they started the bus. By the end of 2014, I don't remember how many we had, but we had like around 200 courses, so if I'm not mistaken.
And all these courses from the time that you decided, you know what, we're not going to go out there and try to kind of make this happen. We're going to let it come to us. Is that what was happening after you went to the NGCOA conference? You had golf courses contacting you?
Absolutely, and every single day. We have days that, what happened, because, NGCOA, there was a lot of multi-course operators. Mm-hmm. And Billy Casper Golf, we have more than 30 properties with Billy Casper Golf. Eagle Golf, our good friend Joe Manch. I mean, Kemper Sport. I mean, I remember talking to those guys, and they say, wow, the concept is neat, but I don't want this for competition. I want just this for fun, for my course or whatever, you know. So I remember I got a call from a municipality, the director of Park and Recreation. If I remember correctly, was from Modesto, California. And she said, Roberto, we have to, I'm not sure, I think it was Modesto, but if I'm not mistaken. She said, we have two golf courses, and one we are going to close it. The city is going to close it, and it's going to be a public park. And if it's a public park, then we will have no more tee times, and we will have to relocate the people somewhere else or whatever. If we bring foot golf, then we can keep playing golf, and we can bring these new demographics.
Wow.
Was too new, and the city didn't pass. And then a few months later, we got a call from the city that they wanted foot golf on the other course. And but those times, guys, were, let's say, we were very, very, very happy. They were romantic times. I mean, any penny we had, we spent it traveling the country and meeting face to face the course operator, spending time with them. And you get to know that people, you get to like that people, you identify yourself with that people. And then you can talk to them and see what they need. They're many of those courses, they are suffering so bad financially, because it's people that they spend a lot of money to get that property, to keep the doors open. So how come they won't see different options? So I mean, you go to a golf course and you have a bocce court, or you have a tennis court, a basketball court. If not, they do wedding. If not, they hire a different chef and they try to make the best burger in town. They need people. And that's why we decide, instead to go ahead and start talking and talking and talking like I'm talking right now, we decide to listen when they call and they say, well, I have this situation, I'm in a country club, it's a private club, or somebody say, we're a resort, or we're a municipal course. And say, okay, wait a minute. Number one, foot golf is no golf. Number two, the American Footgolf League is not a vendor. It's an organization that introduced a new sport to America. Mm-hmm. And number three, foot golf is not for every golf course. And some golf facilities, they offer foot golf every day. Some other facilities, they offer foot golf 2 or 3 days a week. Others, they offer foot golf every day after 3 or 4 p.m. And some others, they just open on the weekends, like a Largo golf course in Tampa Bay, Florida. They have, 250, 300 people every day, but they just open the weekend. And some other properties, like the Ritz-Carlton in Orlando, they just open for a special event or corporate events, and the first month of operation, they sold $25,000.
Wow.
Team building, and yeah, come on, a company event. If you play golf, that's fine, but if you play foot golf, if you do a corporate event, how many executive or how many people play golf in a company? But how many people that company can kick a soccer ball and walk towards a 21-inch court?
Yep. So
you involve it from the janitor to the CEO, and maybe to the CEO grandmother can play there. But anyone can play football. So, and they discovered that it was good. And I am very glad that the research made for our dear friends from the National Golf Foundation per request of We Are Golf. It came very good. I am not the person to give those numbers here because I have to wait until they release that. Because we've been part of it, I have the numbers here with me, and I'm very glad that we can say today that there is a potential pool of 42 million people that eventually will play foot golf. So it's fantastic. You can go and play with your wife and your kids. You can and have fun. You can play with your friends, and you get some beer in the car. Okay, I can go with my wife and get a bottle of champagne and put Frank Sinatra at 6 p.m. and I will love it. You know, and I always beat my wife. Okay. Foot golf can be as fun or as competitive as you want. Yeah, about the competitive side of the sport of foot golf, I am glad and very happy of what I see. We have designed the handicap system for foot golf from scratch, and you will be surprised if you see what we have. You can see that if you go to our website, which is footgolf.net. You will see that. So those guys, they start coming and they play once, and they came back and play again, and just put it on this way. Let's say the three of us, we go and rent a tea time and we play. I won't say that we play for $1,000 a hole, okay?
Wow.
No, because we don't do that. But let's say the three of us, we go and play. We have fun the first hole, the second hole, the third, but by the fourth hole, we stop making eye contact.
Yeah.
Seriously, because you want to compete.
Yep.
Your nature, if you do any sport, okay, you want to do well, you know. Mm-hmm. And these guys start coming back, and then they start saying, you know what? The distances, I mean, this course is kind of boring. They request some more competitive courses and courses in better condition, whatever. So now we can say that the American Footgolf League is taking to Argentina the U.S. national foot golf team to compete in the World Cup, 16 players. And more than half of those players, guys, they play golf.
All right, we hope you enjoyed part one of the Pioneer Life with AFGL founder Roberto Balestrini. Can't you just feel his passion and love for foot golf? Next week, we're going to introduce his wife Laura and get into the current landscape of the sport both here in the US and internationally, talk about the challenges they face as pioneers, and probably the most exciting part of the interview, what the next couple of years looks like for the AFGL and foot golf globally. So thanks again for listening. If you head over to our website, paceofchange.com, you can find the show notes for episode 3, where we're going to list all of the relevant links to find more information about foot golf, the AFGL, and how you can get involved in the sport if you're interested. While you're there, sign up for our newsletter. It's called The Pace, and we'll inform you of upcoming shows and special offers on products that interest you as a listener of our podcast. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. Subscribe to our podcast and help us out by leaving an honest review if you're listening on iTunes. And of course, follow us over on Facebook /Pace of Change and Twitter @PaceOfChangePod. All right, guys, until next week. Ole, 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 ole. Foot golf.